Melbourne has without a doubt been the music capital from when I first saw my first gig in the 60s to when I started the label when I was 20 in 1972. And I guess the music industry went through a lot of change over that period, because when I started, a concert ticket cost that much and an album cost that much. And I think that the big labels worldwide really destroyed the value of true music, because there was different formats that would come out, whether it be mini disc, CD, whether it be cassette, and it was like people that wanted to keep their great music keep getting, in a way, overcharged for music. So over the years there was a massive change in the sense that Napster was well ahead of its time. The big labels internationally shut Napster down. They let legology get in front of technology. And if you really think about it, Napster was what Spotify has become, sharing music. And it in a way now, really, a concert and a live experience is up here and the cost of music is down here. Unless you're a true act, songs are becoming more important to young people. Some artists have had one or two big songs, doesn't mean they can fill a quarter hotel. We've always been very involved with careers of artists, and artists take development, but with streaming now, it's about songs, and for bands that are developed properly and over the years, one thing that's never changed is it takes a long time. The good ones take time. The Hunters and Collectors, Paul Kelly from that era. These days, the DMAs, they've been together for over 10 years and they're on the pivot of becoming the biggest rock band in the country. Yes, it's become big business, but yes, it's also very artistic. And a lot of artists that have been very successful over the years haven't chased it, it's come naturally. And it's very important to understand that contemporary music is now, and I'm not knocking the theatre, I'm not knocking the opera, I'm not knocking the ballet, I'm not knocking the MSO, but contemporary music from a mental health point of view, from a widespread point of view, is become so important. And we're very lucky in Victoria because we've got a government that's really supporting it, particularly in these tough times. If you're doing a job you like, be it an electrician, be it a plumber, a builder, if you like your job, you're going to be happier in life and you're going to be a better person for it. And, you know, it's about really doing something that you enjoy. And a lot of musicians struggle, but they struggle for their own music, and struggling often brings great songs. I think one thing through this surreal COVID period is that you'll find there's a lot of great songwriters out there, well-known, unknown, utilising this time when their most important part of the business being live performance, A, because it's communication, B, because it's income earning. And it's a very tough time for the music industry on all levels, but let's not get carried away. It's a very tough time for people in general, and there's a lot of businesses that have been savaged like we have. When I realised that it was something that wasn't anything that we'd experienced in our lives, when I realised that there was no concerts whatsoever, and the favourite part of my job over the years had become the touring, because I'd done the record and publishing side for so long, I'm lucky that I've got a son that's in the business. You can't force your parents. My parents tried to force me to be a builder. I got thrown out of the house. I used to run little dances, put up posters, and I feel very lucky and honoured that I've got a job that I like. I think it's great that I'm my own boss, because through some of the heavy periods in the 80s when partying and working with acts like Aerosmith, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, my raves, it was all part of the job. But it's become much more professional than even sport. You look how some of these sports people have got limited careers are messing up. That doesn't happen that much in music at all anymore. We've grown up. There's nothing I could compare it to. I've had failed ventures. I've been fortunate never to be touched wood in court with an artist in my 45, 47 years. I find that you can't buy loyalty when you find it, treasure it, and it's just been devastating. Sure, the publishing side, the record side continues, but I love touring, whether it be, great to see a band in a small venue that are going to make it big. You don't forget those nights. It's a bit hard for me now to go to some of those gigs, because from me the youngest person in the room, I'm now the oldest, but I've always been such a fan of live music as I can't play a note. Barnsley told me not to try and sing in the shower. I'm not a frustrated pop star, and I'm happy to back my artist to the hilt, and it's paid off. But to see so many people devastated, and really for the first week of the COVID virus, I was under the sheets, just not knowing what to do. And then I was very, very lucky that I had the brainwave of music from the home front. It was something that should have taken a month. I really thought we needed to make it happen for Anzac Day night. As we all know, it was an Anzac Day that was so different to any Anzac Day. And when you think about it, the comparison between the Anzacs and the frontline health workers is very similar. These people risk their lives day in, day out. And really, that concert, I just worked so hard. I had some great people around me. It rated twice as well as anyone would have expected, which is the way TV works. It put Australian music in prime time. And it was in the top 5 most special things I've ever done in my life, and that really spurred me on. And I think it showed people how we are very unfortunate in comparison to a lot of countries. America have got all the Tonight shows that feature music artists. The BBC do so much music, not just Glastonbury, other festivals, other shows. I'm a huge ABC fan, but there's very little music. I mean, we miss Countdown. I used to work quite a bit in television. I had the alternative version. And as much as we're best mates, Molly used to hate me doing Night Moves, which was more of an alternative show. But we just, since the panel's gone, since Rogue's gone, we just haven't got those spots, which is so important for artists to utilise that to break through. The home front was just massive. We'd been working with the government for 6 weeks about the state of music. Melbourne being not only the music capital of Australia, but one of the major music cities of the world. And it was very different than doing the thing for Channel 9. We've only had 4 weeks, and we've got 6 weeks. I'd like to think that the show has got better and better each week. It's a new area for me because it's all television, but my son points out it's all about eyes and likes. And the Mother's Day show we did was special, and the Jenny Morris things had so many likes. She's had 150,000 views on her own songs separately, different to the home front that didn't stay up and was never going to stay up for more than the night of the show. We've got nearly every artist to agree. We've done incredible things for Support Act. The RSL were ecstatic. And Daniel Andrews rang me on the Monday after it. He was so blown out with the home front. He gave me the initial backing to do it, and was so happy on the Saturday night that we spoke on the Sunday. Then Monday he actually rang me in amongst all of what's going on. I mean, this guy is mostly getting 4 hours sleep a night, but he loves music as a relaxation, and so does his wife. So on Monday I get a call and he says, you know that show that we've been playing around with, I want to go with it, I want it to run this Sunday, and I want to announce it tomorrow. And I've gone, you've nearly killed me and my key 8 people, we haven't slept. Can you at least give me till Wednesday to announce it? And the first show had some great music, but it was really like a pilot, and everyone was exhausted, but we were so enthused that it overcame the exhaustion. And what it has is that it stays up each episode for 6 weeks. Already from the first show, G Flips told me she has never had so much reaction internationally. Now, that's what it's about. Unearthed and Triple J have been an unbelievable aid to new artists and breaking artists, etc. I'd like to think that this will eventually become, and I'm determined to keep it going with or without the government support, and find a true home for it, because the reaction to it is just growing every week. And I believe it's a modern form of Unearthed, because we're putting unknown artists on it as well as iconic artists, some unique versions of classic songs, and some people have criticised it because it's got not one specific direction. Well, guess what? That's exactly what I planned, and if you go back in time, Countdown never did. It had a variety of all sorts of music, and that's what I intended to do. And we had some technical glitches, with what you have when you're doing things from home studios or home. But it's been an inspirational time for me personally. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying working so hard and loving it. I'm enjoying listening to music more than ever. To cap it off in the first show, it timed, good timing and good luck is everything really in life. The Birds of Tokyo album went #1 that week. And last night's show was with the Teskey brothers, who's one of mine, who are just incredible because they're one of the few artists I've seen that appeal to really young people, younger than hipsters, and people older than me. And they're just truly taking a sound that they have made their own, that it's hard to put in words, but they're the real deal. They're most probably never going to have a #1 single. It doesn't matter. But they've built themselves up live. They love what they do, and to be able to get them into the National Gallery of Victoria, which was their idea, I'll give them full credit. They gave me a challenge, and thanks to Tony Elwood and the NGV to being closed was the first thing we did outside of the way we were doing it. They played in the round, so in a circle. It was such a special moment, and we broke the ARIA embargo, When they did it, we didn't know, but it's the first live album recorded at the great venue in Melbourne, the Forum, to go #1 on the ARIA charts since AC/DC for a band in 1999. So it's been a great thing for the show, and I think there's other parts of it. Ash Gromwald just was the total surprise of that show with Kate and Kyle, and I hope that every show will get better, but what I hope more than anything, by the time anyone's watching this, that the state of music keeps going, because artists are relishing it, and we really need the opportunity to expose them, and I'll do anything to keep it going. And I know where I'd like it to go, but time will tell. Look, I think that the patriotism of Australian music has been there. It's just been ignored a lot by radio, commercial radio. It's been ignored a lot by all the newspapers, but online has become such an important thing. Socials, be it Facebook, be it Instagram, what Jimmy and Jane Barnes have been doing has just become iconic. And I do think it's very difficult though for an artist to perform without a stage and lights, etc., and hold an audience for an hour. That's why we've done the show as partly a talk, Q&A show, and artists performing 1 or 2 songs. So I think that's where we're different. But look, we know that there's going to be stages through the COVID thing, and the great thing is it'll be before international acts come here, Australian artists will get time to shine, and I think that out there is some of the most incredible artists at the moment, and it's our turn to have a really big run, following up Tones and I, Tame Impala. The DMAs are already massive live in England, and to really have something that has never directly happened for me, apart from Kylie and a couple of other things, but I still haven't got that elusive #1 in America, and I hope it comes along, and if I don't get it, I know my son will achieve that for me. And it's funny I use the word elusive because he is very elusive and his company's called Elusive. It all comes down to the songs. Sure, a lot of artists can do great covers and there's nothing wrong with that. And unique, what's become really different the last 15 years is featuring different artists working together and collaborating. And I think Australia's been a bit slow in picking up on that. And music's forever changing. And from my point of view, you've always got to be a leader, not a follower. What's actually red hot today isn't what you want to be. You want to be something different. I think it will take time for the industry to recover. I think that there'll be a real appetite for live music. But let's face it, there's a lot of people that have been really hurt through this thing, and certainly from our company's point of view, we're going to be very concerned about ticket prices, and we're going to be try and help some of the frontline workers in the big shows that perhaps aren't sold out. We'll certainly give them real discounts, and certainly, as so many people talked about on the state of music or music from the home front, musicians are always there in times like this, and we really appreciate what they've done.